Welcome back to Game On, and the challenger on this segment is a model and a gamer, Sikandar Khan. And quite interestingly, he has challenged me for a game which he himself calls very senseless. In fact, he calls it the senseless of the senseless games.
No, the most senseless.
Okay.
The most senseless button bashing game in the world. SmackDown versus Raw 2011. But I love the characters, I love the wrestlers because I've been a huge wrestling fan. I think right from the time, I think I call this the golden era of wrestling. You know, when Hulk Hogan and Bret Hitman Hart and The Undertaker, the first Undertaker.
In fact, now that you've mentioned it, you know what I'd call the golden era of wrestling? It was when Brock Lesnar came in, and then we had Goldberg, and Rock was throwing off his attitude, and you had Stone Cold Steve Austin. That for me was...
and by the way, you know what, when John Cena had a fight with Steve Austin, and he punched him right on his face, you know what happened to Steve Austin?
I know what happened, Andrew.
He got stone cold. So, you know,
That's a good
there have been very good wrestlers all throughout, I guess, the wrestling era. But I think the present generation is no match to the earlier one.
Exactly, present generation. But now that you say it, in fact, I would tell you that I was sitting in office the other day and I was Facebooking, and there was this video about CM Punk. It's been 5 years that I've stopped watching wrestling, but people are calling it a total new era of attitude. They're saying that the total new era of attitude has started. So I think I personally can never come out of this, you know, I don't know what it is, this awe of wrestling. I somehow, every time I go back home, I switch on the TV and I would stay for at least 5 seconds on 10 Sports watching wrestling.
No, I kind of like the whole 90s era. You know why? Because during that time, each and every wrestler had a character. They had a costume, and they stood out from the rest of the gang. But now if you see, most of the wrestlers are almost the same. Though you can find maybe a Great Khali because of his imposing height, and maybe John Cena again, maybe because he's also into films these days.
Exactly.
So,
And
yeah.
but I think the whole video game, the whole gaming section has quite copied it very well. I think they've copied this thing very well. You have these players who behave exactly like the superstars that you've grown up watching on TV.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was in college, I used to go to this gaming parlor just to play half an hour of wrestling. That time it used to be what, SmackDown versus Raw 2006 or something. So I think we are going to relive that same thing again.
Yeah, in fact, you know, I couple of times I even did not follow the warnings that they give, and you know, you should not try this at home.
Exactly.
Actually, this is a secret. I did try it at home.
So did we. So did everyone. So we'll start the game. I am going to take Triple H. He's been my favorite, especially the way he comes up on the stage and he drinks a gulp of water, and you know that whole aura about him. I have always been fascinated by him.
I guess I go in for John Cena.
Right. And what match do we play? We play First Blood or we play a normal match? What do you suggest?
No, I guess we're going for the Inferno.
They're going for the Inferno?
Yeah.
Right. So John Cena versus Triple H Inferno match.
The fight was between Triple H and John Cena. Inferno match. For those of you who are new to the WWE terminology, a ring surrounded by fire is your platform. 500 degrees of heat is what you resist, and your task is to drag your opponent right into the fire. It sounds quite catchy, but I have to admit that the gameplay in this case was quite annoying. WWE gaming comes with its flaws, and if anything, it is very tiresome. No amount of button mashing or opponent bashing seems to lead you anywhere. The biggest flaw in this game is that once you are locked in your opponent's grip, it's very difficult to get out of it. We realized all of this in about half an hour of a stale fight, and as much as both of us wanted to win, it resulted in a tie.
I don't remember the last time it happened, or I don't remember if it ever happened in World Wrestling Entertainment, but here on Game On it has happened. I don't think we can continue beyond
No,
this.
we can't. If you see my hand, it's almost frozen. I don't know if you can even say it's frozen, but It'll take another 2 hours for me to straighten my fingers because the button bashing game has done the trick.
The button bashing game has won. I haven't won. He hasn't won. The button bashing game has won. I don't understand the logic. It looked like so many times you had me down and I had you pinned down. And
I guess even my granny would have beaten you, yeah, in that the first half of it. I don't know.
Well, it's easier said than done. The result is that it's a tie match.
It's a tie.
Right?
It's a tie.
The result is a tie match.
But it's good enough. You know why? Because I don't want any of these two to lose. They're one of the greats. I think the present day legends, both of them.
Well, so a salute to the spirit of World Wrestling Entertainment. Do not try this at home. In fact, you can. You should try this at home. It's quite fun. Do not try this game at home, by the way. It's kind of very slow, and you would end up with fingers like these, right? Sadly, he doesn't win a voucher, but as a consolation, we can at least give him a discount on any of the CDs in Landmark. You can also earn that. You can send in your challenge to me. You can challenge me for any game of your choice. Send in your feedback to feedback@ndtv-hindu.com or send in your crazy gamers bite or tell us your opinions and tell us which game you would want us to review. All of that just needs a mail to be sent to feedback@ndtv-hindu.com. I'll see you again after a short break.